this is supposed to be the penultimate night of the 2020 Mosconi Cup. Is it going to be the final night, or will we see a rousing American comeback? I know my co-commentator wants the latter. Has it been difficult to motivate your boys today, Joey?
Honestly, no. You know, nothing's more motivating than taking such a bad beat like yesterday. And it wasn't really from unforced errors. I mean, there was a few here and there, a lot of unlucky rolls, but obviously the lag, and we've lost another lag, so that's difficult to see. We were practicing it a lot today. But we're all in high spirits and really, really confident. And, I mean, let's go. It's USA.
So this is the 11th match of this year's championship. And would you believe Europe has now won 9 lags?
Yeah, it's pretty unreal. I mean, they've obviously prepared and practiced that lag quite a bit. So hopefully it doesn't show up against the Americans on this match. Well, that's a rarity. Missing the wing ball for, I don't know if they missed one yesterday. Not a bad start for the Americans to have an opportunity here.
And of course, right at the end of the first night, Ouschan broke dry against Shane van Boening in the decider of that singles, and van Boening did the rest.
Yeah, I'm sure Skyler's very excited to see a dry break here, because to start off with the momentum is going to be huge. Touchy little shot, just drag it over, low tip, hold it over on the second rail. Float a little more, oof. See, that's why I liked holding it and just going ahead and taking that shot, just dragging it over, but he needed to let his stroke out. Looked like he just had a long bridge and didn't really get through enough.
Okay. Just one final thought on the lag, you know. Last year, USA won 11-8. They won 11 racks and 11 lags. Europe won 8 racks, or should I say 8 matches, and 8 lags. It is so important. And right now, in that regard, Europe have been dominant.
Yeah, it is unbelievable how important the final break is at this level. I mean, anybody knows that's played short race. Look at this. Oh my gosh. Now, I can't honestly say that Shane was attempting that, and you could see on his face that he wasn't, so we'll take what we can get. Go USA.
A 2-9 combination of the most spectacular variety, including a couple of cushions. Now, is that a portent of things to come?
Oh, that's huge. I mean, if you look at it, like I just mentioned, a few unfortunate rolls. I mean, momentum, you know, you have to rely on Lady Luck a little bit in this game of 9-ball. I mean, you know, the balls roll funny for everybody, and sometimes they don't roll in your favor. But starting off the night like that is definitely a good thing for the Americans to see.
So, Joey, a very short rack and already a shot, undoubtedly, to put on the highlight reel.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we'll be seeing a lot of that. You don't see Shane giggle a whole lot about stuff in these serious moments, but he's definitely getting a crack out of that one. Now, the only thing is put the smile away and go to work. Hold your serve from here on out. That's the important thing, obviously, is just holding your serve because the break is so huge. So, been practicing it all morning. Let's see what we can do.
Team USA to break.
Bad kiss. Talking about luck. When things are going one way, they might just go that way, the other way just as fast. Got a funny kiss, broke him perfect, made the wing ball. I liked the strike, stopped the cue ball, and got a bad kiss.
Yes, we see it so often, don't we, in top-level 9-ball pool. Lady Luck really is a fickle mistress.
Just when you think everything's going your way, you got to watch out for her, right?
Actually, when he was speaking to the press last night, Jeremy Jones, the American captain, was saying that he thought Lady Luck was supposed to be American, but she turned on her own.
Well, I don't know if she wears a flag, that's for sure. Lady Luck is pretty universal, but hopefully she can get on our side today, which at least she did for the first rack. So dodging another bullet, I mean, I really like them to get out from here, obviously. You know, 2 world-class players. The equipment suits their styles very well. Most of the Europeans are very comfortable on fast, slick equipment. But this table is very tough to control no matter what. But pretty simple out. Just punch the cue ball 1 rail out. Float it, yeah. Got a little elevated here. Didn't get exactly where he wanted to be, but everybody knows leaving filler any kind of an open shot is generally pretty safe. So not bad. Making this rack a little bit more difficult than they probably wanted, but this shot can get away from you a little bit, trying to control it.
Yes, we've seen a couple of these shots actually undercut in this year's Cup. In fact, Joshua Filler was guilty of missing a shot similar to this on the 6th ball early on.
I remember that shot. And these pockets are not big. I mean, by no means. You know, they do slide, so it allows the ball to go in with the right speed. But a little jumpy, catch the rubber. I mean, these pockets are, they're shimmed pretty good. Not shimmed, but they are definitely tight. Lovely shot. Confident to play it that way. Just above the 7 and let the spin. Pretty natural, but required a good stroke. Now, these side pockets, you know, I mean, they all want to avoid them as much as possible. I hear the players talk a lot about it. I haven't played a whole lot on the Rassans, but witnessing it and seeing it, and these side pockets are definitely unforgiving. I believe he can just roll it in, though. He's got a pretty good angle. Not a difficult shot, just to float up. Leaving Josh a good angle to just float 1 rail down for the 9 to take the second game.
The scratch really was a gift.
Yeah, I mean, you can look at it a lot of ways, and one of my favorite sayings is when people play golf and they talk about their score, you know, scorecards don't tell stories, even though you can look at the highlights, but you can always say, well, they broke around their first one, we broke around our second one, or vice versa, you know, so
Ja.
either way, it's 1-1.
Einfach voll treffen statt dem Tasche.
Hat bei der 2 so Angst, weil der Tisch fühlt sich irgendwie neu an. Er wollte nicht zu kurz kommen, dass er die 7 berührt.
The Austrian and the German chatting away in their native tongue. And I'll tell you what, this European team is so cohesive. Just take a look at this before play began, maybe 10 minutes before they entered the arena.
Who's gonna win it tonight? Yeah! Who's gonna win it tonight, guys? Yeah! Come on. 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Let's go, boys. Come on. Let's go.
This year, the European team is represented by players from 5 different nations, but they could not be more united. And I'm sure, Joey, you will agree with this. They don't have a single weak link.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you know,
3,
hand-picked world champions from
Team Europe to break.
From a continent, you know, I mean, it's hard to find a bad team out of that, you know. But these Americans have a lot of heart and put yesterday behind them, and are going to fight to the end. 1 on the side, pretty solid break. It looked like he brought the cue ball out a little bit and came with more of a controlled break, making the wing ball as well. Now this shot, I mean, looks like he's pretty much dead straight, so he could just draw back, but he may have to stun it over in between the 4-8. Kind of lays a little bit funny. Can't see the exact angle, but I mean, I almost trust just stopping the ball if he can to just take the longer cut on the 3. You don't really need to give Josh any kind of perfect position.
Yes, as Filler's partner, all you need to do is keep things efficient, keep things simple, and he will do the remainder.
That's an interesting fact. You know, I mean, watching these guys play over the past few days and seeing it in person and really watching every shot and seeing what they're doing. Simplicity seems to be the word at this level on this type of equipment in these short races. Not trying to get too perfect on anything, just being efficient. And that's another interesting fact that a lot of players should take into account, how Albin walked over to look at his next shot, even though it's pretty obvious and it's pretty simple. Going to look where you want to be for your next shot is very important at a high level. So just drawing this ball back and just taking a picture of that area where you want it to be, and you can recreate it at this level.
And it's almost, Joey, as though Albin Ouschan has got an internal clock. He plays the 30-second shot rule, I think, better than anyone. He never rushes, always gives himself just about the right amount of time on shots.
He really does. You know, you have to give credit when credit's due. And Josh is more of a rhythm player. You can see he likes to, he's not as controlled as Albin. But Albin, this format and this scenario, he's very experienced in. You see him glance at the clock. As you said, he plays the clock very well. And it's super important at this level. I mean, any level, you know, you have to take your time, but using the time that's available, giving it that extra look, just really, I mean, that's why you see golfers, they look at both sides of the hole. You know, they don't just get down and fire at a putt. So. Solid out.
The match started with Shane van Boening's spectacular 2-9 combination. Now, though, in racks, it's 2-1 to Europe.
Oh, we're in a commercial, aren't we? You smile. I didn't realize we were in a commercial. Huh? What are you smiling about?
Welcome back to the Ricoh Arena, to Coventry and to the Mosconi Cup 2020, where two themes from last night have already been picked up. Okay, it's a small sample size thus far, but what we can say is that Europe have done pretty well so far this evening, and they've also displayed excellence.
So I liked the speed on that break a little more, took a little bit of pace off of it. Again, with another kiss. Now we're talking about, don't like talking about the rolls that much because you can make your own rolls, but this kiss, look at this side ball, bam. And then the 8, obviously, coming and bumping the 1 out of the way, because, I mean, look if the 1 would have just sat there, but looks like he may have a decent safety here. Just banking the 1 a little bit thicker and kind of putting the cue ball by the pink. Hopefully not leaving too simple of a jump. It's a little touchy. It looks like the 1 might be a little bit too far out and a little bit too funny of an angle. Not the simplest shot. Yep, see, that was just very difficult. Hard to control, and it's easy to, with these the very slick balls, to let that ball get away from you and overcut it and just leave them a shot in the corner. But you had to try it. But needless to say, left Josh a shot. And I got to believe he's going to go here. It's either that or play safe behind the brown. Ooh, a little bit weak.
Well, that was surprising in a couple of ways. Undoubtedly tentative. I thought he was going to lock Skyler Woodward up there for sure.
Yeah, I honestly thought he might just cut that ball right down the rail, knowing him, and knowing the position is there for the 2. But needless to say, I mean, leaving length on this type of equipment with, I mean, no offensive shot, it's very hard to gauge these defensive shots from a long distance. But he did look a little rushed, you know. I mean, that's why I was kind of concerned about Albin's pace. They're almost complete opposite. Cue ball. Cue ball. Landed just on the point. Now, he may have left him a window here. I can't tell. I actually think he definitely did, but don't know if he can pocket the ball, but I think he can see the edge and probably just clip at one rail, but it does look like he may be shooting at this. I can't honestly see for sure. Oh, no, definitely not. I don't even know if he can see a ball. He's going at it, though. Playing aggressive. A little bit thick, and cue ball. I mean, geez.
Wear your heart on your sleeve, Joey. Say it.
I can't help it. I mean, I'm sorry, you know, if people get offended, but I'm cheering pretty hard. A little thick there. Really surprised. I mean, he just looked a little rushed on that one as well. Shane didn't really look like he's super committed to it. But hopefully can get a shot out of this, but it looks like Josh will probably lock him up right here. No. Now the defensive touch right here, you know, I mean, that shows a little bit of nerves all the way around because it's such a hard shot, I mean, to execute, trying to control the object ball and the cue ball. And when you get a little bit of adrenaline pumping, it's easy to put that extra little oomph on it, you know?
And to make matters worse from a European perspective, with that shot, Filler actually developed the 2 away from the 9, so making the American task a little easier.
Correct, yeah. Hopefully he can cut this ball in and run into the 6 and come up a little. No, missed it.
Foul.
It wasn't the easiest of shots, and it's hard to gauge the hit off the 6, but just a difficult shot. I mean, really.
Stop the clock, please.
Well, the miss was possible, but scratching now, that really does get under the skin.
Yeah, you know, didn't miss it by much, but the cue ball hitting the 6 ball thick like that just carries right through. And hard to gauge. I mean, he didn't have much of a safety or anything there. I guess he could have, but I felt like playing offensive is the way to go. Now I think that the two can clear through here. Obviously, playing position for it. Perfect angle here. Couldn't ask for a better spot.
There's no doubt about it. Captain Laley will have said to his troops, lads, we're well ahead, yes, but it's a new day. We need to press home the advantage, break their hearts a little more, and winning this opening match would do that. 9-2, that would seem like a mountainous deficit for the visitors.
Yeah, I mean, you can't deny it. I mean, having our 2 stars, obviously. I mean, every one of these guys are stars, but these are our 2 clutch players that everybody loves in America, and we trust them to get the job done. Having them get beat would be very, very disappointing, but still a long match from here, no matter how you look at it. Not the easiest shot in the world here, but gotta like cutting it down the rail, yeah. Good stroke. Pretty routine, just 2 rails out and going up 3-1 now.
And really no one is surprised by this because it's a power-packed partnership. Skyler Woodward, the MVP in the Mosconi Cup in 2018 and 19, but Filler and Ouschan before him, the MVPs in 2017 and 2016 respectively.
Yeah. All of these guys are monsters, and you gotta be deliberate out there and very, very confident, and can't get down on yourself no matter what. Down 8-2, 9-2, 3-1, whatever the scenario is, you got to stay positive.
And in terms of this match, the Europeans now more than halfway to gaining another invaluable point. They lead the USA 3-1. So, Joey, your experience of being vice captain thus far, enjoying yourself?
I mean, it's been great. I've learned so much over this year. It's surreal to be here. A few days I've woken up and kind of felt like I was dreaming. Like, is this really happening? Because it's just so exciting to be around all these world-class players and develop the bonds that I have with the boys in America. It's a dream come true as a coach, and you know, I've been coaching for about 5-6 years now, and it's just leading me to a whole new level of support for my players and for the juniors and for these boys.
And some real stories to tell when you go back to Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, definitely, and hopefully I'm telling a story of us coming back and winning down 8-2.
Never give up the ghost. I'll tell you what, in Q Sports I've seen some comebacks over the years that simply defy belief, and in fact they define people's lives.
It's true, and you know, no matter what, you always learn, and you get better every day. And I felt like yesterday we played great, just things didn't go our way. Put a little more pace on that break and lost the cue ball a little bit to the left, hence tying up a lot of balls. So could be a potentially big safety battle here. So I mean, Jeremy, he preaches over and over to grind, and that's how we've all grown up. That's how we play. So a scenario like this, I feel the Americans are much the favorite.
Oder? Siehst du was Besseres? Oder ein bisschen pushen?
Ich habe auch fast dran gedacht.
I think that Corey and Shane's match early on, I think he was playing Fedor and Josh, I believe.
20 Sekunden.
Their doubles match, they had one game where I think it might have been about a 10 or 12 minute game. Non-stop safeties. I mean, that's a long game at this level, you know.
Well, normally that would be oh dear, but as Joey said, this table is decidedly scrappy already.
You know, I know. But do you want up here? Play safe or what?
Yeah,
breakaway here and we'll get him stuck behind the 9.
Love the communication between these two. They're very, very cut and dry and very simple, and they trust each other tremendously. Ooh. Well, rolled her in there. Skyler's giggling a little bit about that one, but lock him up on the 9. A little bit more he wanted out of that, but you always just want to take the guarantee. You can see Skyler's head move just a touch, just a pinch. He's not super fond of babying balls. He likes to punch them in there. He likes to let his stroke out. I think he can get to the side rail on this, and I'm going to try to play for distance here. You don't want to get too crazy. Hit that ball really well. I noticed that the Europeans have been executing their kick safeties pretty well since this has been going on.
That is undoubtedly true, but I must say Van Boening missed a trick.
Yeah, you're right. Leaving that rail, you know, if he doesn't do that, then he's forced to kick a lot more firm. Little billiard shot, 3 rails. Oh, he's playing it just 2. Game 3, I guess, but he just spun it too much. Yeah, he was trying to play it a little bit thicker, obviously, up by the 2nd diamond and come around 3 rails, play the billiard on the 5, 6. Not much of a breakout shot from the 3 to the 5, but if he gets a decent angle on the pink, he can come straight across into those balls, and it lays like he's going to get that. Might be a little more angle, obviously, than he wanted, but Josh is very dangerous with any kind of a pocket. Now you can't really baby this ball, so I mean, if he catches the bottom of the 6, funny things can happen. The cue ball could hit the 6 thick, come back down by the 9.
And the importance of the shot is underlined by the fact that the Europeans take their 30-second extension.
Yeah, crucial shot here. I mean, he hit that ball great. You just can't say anything about that, but wow, solid.
Well, that's right up there with me with the 2-9 combination in the first rack. Developing the 2 balls and now basically putting the rack on a plate.
Difficult. I mean, nothing you can say, but good shot.
It did seem to stick in the throat, though, Joey, when you said it.
You know, it's not exactly what I want to say, but hey, we're all professionals, and when you see somebody executing, I mean, that's all you can do. You can do what you can do. You can't control them. You can just say good shooting and learn from it.
He smiles so often, does Joshua Filler, when he's out there, and no wonder after this shot. It was genius. Developing the purple and the green, and leaving the rack right there for the taking.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been very easy to lose that cue ball, especially at the speed that he hit it. He could have hit the top side, the bottom side, and left him a very long shot on the 5, or came on the bottom side and got behind the 9 somehow. But hitting it dead square in the face at that speed and controlling it off the purple it was a good shot.
And this is looking really bleak for the Americans, because think about this, even if the USA win this rack, Europe are breaking in the next, and potentially, if it goes all the way, in the decider.
Yeah, that's a difficult scenario to be in, but you've got to be in the moment and just take focus on the task at hand and hope for the best. Let's go, Shane. Now, hate to say it, don't like bringing up luck very often. Didn't get a shot here, so Lost the cue ball just a touch, but not that bad at all. I mean, the ball's just parking right there, getting a few kisses. I believe he's trying to hit him a little bit on the right side as well. Earlier he was practicing that because he was making the one on the side and the wing ball every time. So just didn't get the layout he was hoping.
All right, push.
Oh, Skyler.
Now, the reason he did that, if you're joining us for the first time, on the first evening, he pushed out but didn't tell the referee, John Lehman, who's in charge of this contest, and of course it was a foul shot and it affected the whole rack.
Yeah, it was really disappointing early on, and Skyler said as soon as he let the cue went off in his hand and he touched the cue ball, he walked back to the chair and he said, I know. It just in the moment slipped his mind a little bit, and I mean, mental errors can happen in this format because you have so much to think about. You have to be on point.
Now look at the 2-ball here going into the 9.
Dodged a bullet there, the Americans. Just slightly overcut that one. Controlled the cue ball, but left him elevated. Looks like Shane's going to have to play safety. Banked the 2 up by the side diamond. Yeah, this is one thing Shane's been talking about to the guys. Instead of trying to play those touchy safeties up table, just go ahead and get the distance and take the safety where you know you're going to get an opportunity back to the table, because it is very difficult to execute a touchy shot on this equipment from that far. You know, I do talk about golf a lot, and I've mentioned it in my other commentary, is this table would be like the Masters versus playing on a slow putting course at your public, a public golf course.
I think it's fair everyone would agree that as Shane Van Boening goes, so do the USA in the Mosconi Cup, and the stark fact is, so far, discounting the opening team match, he's 1-3.
Yeah, and he's played extremely well. I mean, lost his doubles match with Corey. They didn't play their best. Some miscommunication on a few shots, but look at this. Up 4-2, just said screw it, I guess, and swung. But had a high percentage shot though. A lot of balls moving, trying to make the carom, trying to make the couple balls back down here. So didn't think that shot was bad at all. It was really pretty high percentage. Got a pretty good roll, leaving the purple right there.
Yeah, horrible cueing over the 5 with such distance between cue ball and object ball. He's done
What a
well.
shot. Big shot by Skyler. Very difficult to cue over that ball and not create a foul by touching the purple. Looks as though Shane's got a shot on the side, but I think the brown could possibly be in the way.
I'm gonna have to put you right here.
To come down for to get up,
That's
but
fine.
he's looking to probably just stop the cue ball. Maybe roll just past it. Simplicity. I mean, just taking the look and having, leaving them a shot, getting on down the road, trusting your partner. So we say trust the process, trust yourselves, and trust your coaches. And it's a big word. Got her to go. Good strike. Now the question being, floating this ball 2 rails with high English, it can really run away from you. So do you just go ahead and stun it down with center ball, or do you float it? He played it all the way around, which I think is pretty smart, because you can use the rails to die the cue ball, but he landed a little bit shorter than he wanted to be. Looked a little quick with the stroke, but I think that Skyler has a piece of this. Can probably draw back. Oh, he's got plenty of angle, I believe, to give him a shot for the corner. Oh, side. Punched it up just nice. But like I said earlier, trying to avoid these side pockets as much as possible. I mean, these balls, they will come out at any speed. Good shot there. Didn't go too crazy with it, just made sure he left Skyler a nice little cut. There we go.
Woodward and Van Boening staying alive at the very least. It is now 4-2. But as I said before, Europe break next.
Yeah, got to dodge a few things here. But no excuses and no quitting.
It's a real shame we don't have the immense crowds we normally have at the Mosconi Cup. It is a unique Q Sports experience, I can tell you.
Oh yeah, being here for the first time, and I mean honestly, we weren't even sure if this event was going to happen, and so you know, I just like to thank everybody out there that supports this and is watching, and all the European fans, all the American fans. You know, this stuff isn't possible without you, and I'm so pleased to be able to be out here. I mean, it's amazing to be overseas, and traveling and watching the best players in the world perform.
Rack number 7, the current score is 4-2 Team Europe. Team Europe is on the hill and breaking.
Ooh, a little kiss on that, and I think he got a shot. Can't tell for sure if you can see the whole ball, but he looks pretty confident with it because he's already addressing where he's going to leave the cue ball for the 2. Little kiss there. It could have gone in the side, but it didn't. Does he have a shot? Elevating a little bit. No, he may not. I don't think he has it.
And what a difference a few millimeters can make here.
That's true. I mean, being able to gauge for sure, but I'd have to say he can. Yeah, that looks pretty wide open. Went ahead and went with it. Didn't like babying anything around. Now, if the blue passes the pink here, I don't know. But he can shoot it inside. Traffic there, traffic.
Of course, he didn't want the kiss, but that could be the lifeline that this American pairing need.
Super huge, super huge. I mean, in a race to 5, a lot of funny things can happen. I think Albin's a little surprised because judging from an overhead view, it looked as though Josh didn't need to use any English or draw or anything like that at all on that ball. It was more of a natural cut shot and just come to the rail and out. It looked like he tried to spin it with a little inside and go 2 rails and just caught that 8. Now, got a pretty solid safety. He can bank this ball up by the 9, I believe, or cut it down. One of the 2. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. White ball. Stays up.
Looks as though he might be angled here. Jawed, whatever your terminology.
Yeah.
The cue ball seemed to run, and then just as he got to the end there, rocked back a little.
Oh. Man. I don't have much words for that one.
Attention, please.
I mean, you just got to take it for what it is and kick it in, Skyler. Look how deep that ball is. I mean, that's just on this type of felt, as slick as these balls are, and it's unbelievable to get a cue ball hanging. It's almost impossible to just roll a cue ball to hanging on this equipment. Came wide and gave him ball in hand.
Well, you know, the film Jaws was a horror film. And that was a horror show for the Americans. So unfortunate. At a time when they need good fortune, they got some cruelty.
Yeah, it's hard to watch. I was even thinking about it last night. You know, trying to commentate and when things are going wrong it's it's very difficult. But you got to give credit to Filler and Ouschan. They've played a very good match. Got a little fortunate there. Well, more than a little fortunate, very fortunate, and taking advantage of it.
Let it all out, Joey. It's cathartic.
I know. I'm sorry. I just it's stressful. You know, I mean, I care so much about this, and I want these guys to win, and you know, but as long as they play their heart out, that's all that matters, and we all know that they are.
So Filler and Ouschan, what a power-packed partnership it is. Put into battle by that man, Alex Lely. He's got a smile on his face because he knows they're 3 pots away from giving Europe a 7-match advantage.
Yeah. Looks that way. Pretty speechless at the moment. Just really, really relying on this match, but at the end of the day, they still need 2 matches if they win this one, which it looks like they have. But USA is going to have to soldier up.
The jaw got in the way, and then it was joy for Europe. We can't quite comprehend this scoreline. The defending champions, the USA, now trail overall 9-2.